Beer here back at the Fantasy Bar Friday on tap. 6 of my favorite plays ready for you to go on FanDuel and DraftKings, including a couple teams that I am eyeing up here tonight to stack. One of my favorite value plays so far this season, under 3K on both FanDuel and DraftKings, a starting pitcher that's been absolutely dominant in his home starts. And of course, my favorite play of the night, who we talking about? Only one way to find out. Belly up to the Fantasy Bar. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack Weekend is here. The bar is open, and we have some plays ready for you here on FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by the Fantasy Bar and checking out today's video. Before we get into the plays, lots to get to here. First of all, thumbs up button helps us out a lot on YouTube. Greatly appreciate that and your support of these videos. Subscribe to the channel as well. Don't miss any of the content. Check out scoresandodds.com/beer. Recently got a facelift. Nice look over there. If you haven't gone over there yet, that link in the description, go and check it out when you're done here. All right, now slate housekeeping. Looking like a lot of rain, potential cancellations, a lot on the East Coast and the Midwest. Did our best to avoid those. If we have to make any changes to the video, we will do so in the YouTube comment section. You'll stay posted on that. Also, Coors Field on the slate. As always, we're going to try to find you ways to get different from Coors Field. Not that you shouldn't play it. You don't need me to tell you to play Coors Field. So we're going to find you some options outside of Coors. And a reminder, our intro play can be found on our RotoGrinders shorts page and on Twitter. So that first play there, the rest of the plays here in the main video. All right, we got that all out of the way. Now let's get to the good stuff here. Let's start in the outfield with Dalton Varsho of the Blue Jays. So Varsho been very, very quiet here. What's that going to do? It's going to help us out on ownership. He's hitting down the lineup a little bit. People don't like to play those kind of guys. Really like the Toronto stack here. And you could go down towards the middle and start there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that on DraftKings. But Varsho, I think this is a good spot for him to bounce out of things against Caprillion. Now, if you look at this lineup, not a big ISO team here with the Blue Jays. Very productive, a lot of big names there. But it's Varsho that leads the way with a 203 ISO against righties. And Caprillion going to throw mainly fastball, slider, almost 80% of his arsenal. Varsho, good ISO numbers, over 240 against both of those pitches here. So it's only a matter of time before this bat wakes up. I'd rather be out ahead of it here. Dalton Varsho in a good matchup with James Caprillion. All right, we're not done with Toronto. Let's stay there with another lefty at first base or outfield with Brandon Belt. Now, tremendous prices here on Brandon Belt. I mean, we're talking $2,500 on both sites. Makes life very easy for you as part of this Toronto stack or even as a cheap one-off play here. I think this is one of the better buy lows we have right now on both sites here. 182 ISO, not bad against righties. Big time 372 Woba leads the team against right-handed pitching this season. And Caprillion, we know, has really struggled with left-handed hitters so far this season. Big 383 Woba, giving up power as well. That ISO up at 235 and a lot of hard contact here as well, over 50%. So can definitely use the righties there in that lineup. We know there's some great bats there, but the lefties really stand out here. Great stack tonight and great value here on Brandon Belt. All right, we're not done with Toronto, but we're going to go to starting pitcher next with Chris Bassitt. So we like the stack. Naturally, we like the pitcher to go with it. They're going to put up runs, hopefully give him some run support, and I get it. Bassitt's probably been one of the biggest variant guys so far on the season. Some massive games and some big negative massive games as well. One of the better high-risk, high-reward plays. So this is not a play for everybody. Maybe you want a little bit more safety at starting pitcher. I want to swing for the fences here with Bassitt. Now let's look at his home starts here. 6 home starts, been absolutely dominant in those games, averaging 24 DraftKings points per game, giving up a minuscule 131 batting average allowed. And guess what? The matchup here, we know Oakland, one of the weakest teams out there offensively. 6 starters they're rolling out here with 25% or higher strikeout rate. Some of these guys into the 30s. Hell, they even got a guy in the 40s as far as strikeout rate goes. So I think this sets up very well for Bassitt. Prices are more than fair. Been very good at home. And a matchup against his former team. Sign me up here. Chris Bassitt, my favorite pitcher for Friday night. All right, let's now get catcher out for you next with Gary Sanchez of San Diego. Now, Sanchez, another guy, been very up and down here. Massive game the other night, but generally been a pretty quiet bat here over the last couple weeks. So let's hope that got him going here. In a good spot here against Patrick Corbin. Good power matchup for Gary Sanchez. Now, limited at-bats here against lefties so far this season. This guy's been making a career out of hitting left-handed pitching. Doing it once again this season. Woba approaching 400 at ISO way up at 429. So a ton of power here against left-handed pitching for Gary Sanchez. And we don't have to worry as much about strikeouts. We know he can be a high strikeout guy. Patrick Corbin not striking out a lot of batters, just 14% of right-handed hitters here. So cheap catcher play with some power upside. Gary Sanchez, my favorite catcher play for you here on Friday night. All right, it's time. Take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. Before we do that, let's run it back on our Beast of the Night contest. Very easy to play, guys. Just head to the comment section after you've clicked that thumbs up button, of course, and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter. Doesn't have to be the Beast. Can be any of these bats. Whoever puts up the most points, your guess is the closest. Guess what? You're going to win yourselves a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. All right, let's wrap this baby up with my favorite play for Friday night. You know, Mass, the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We promised you a couple stacks, so we're going to stay right there with San Diego. We're spending up here. We've saved you a lot of money so we could put it on shortstop, outfielder Fernando Tatis Jr., tonight's Beast of the Night. So yes, very expensive price tag here. I understand that. DraftKings all the way up to $6,600, but if people are going to be going Coors Field, this is a way to get different here with the upside of Fernando Tatis. So whether it's part of this stack or as a one-off play, really like this spot for him against Corbin. We'll get back to more Corbin numbers here in a minute, but Tatis been money against lefties this season. 488, the WOBA, ton of power here as well. 420, the ISO for him here. 51% hard contact rate allowed by Patrick Corbin, giving up a 372 WOBA as well. We mentioned strikeouts down as well here. Just a great matchup here for the San Diego Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr., easily my favorite play on the board in tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll do it here for our Friday six-pack. As always, have any comments, questions, or feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, fantasy points for my highest scoring hitter. Doesn't necessarily have to be Fernando Tatis. Any of these guys, highest score, your guess is the closest. You win a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you so much for watching, hanging out in the bar. Best of luck on tonight's slate. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist